there was a jazz club across the street that Billie Holiday went to, and Piano Man, who was played by Richard Pryor, he played the piano at the jazz club, and he convinced Billie Holiday to get up on the stage and sing, and she did. And that's how her career basically began. But she had a lot of addictions and attachments to alcohol and drugs and things like that. So she ended up going to this I don't know if it was a mental, I think it was like a mental facility, where she got sober, and she could get the tools that she needed in order to heal. But I don't think she ever really was off of drugs. We relapse all the time, but the thing is to get back up on the horse and keep going. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like something here, something is mentally disturbing somebody here with a relationship or a job. Yeah. And it's time to move on from this relationship or this job. Take it as it resonates, whatever it may be. It's time to move on because it's causing a lot of mental disturbances. Yes, indeed. Ooh, child. I feel like I need to get into that Four of Swords. Hold on. Yeah, the Four of Swords speaks a lot about rest, relaxation, meditation, recuperation, contemplation. You need rest. Folks in the collective need rest. You must recharge before your next venture. Constant stress and tension will break even the hardest person. Yeah. It speaks about trauma, breakup, financial things going on financially, family problems, health problems. It's time to step back, collective. Step back. Regain your perspective. Take some time off. Take a vacation. Go on a spiritual retreat. Or like I said, with Billie Holiday, she ended up having to actually go into some type of health facility to get treatment. Yeah. But it's time for isolation. It's time for quiet. It's time for peace. Yeah. So you can do some soul searching. Do some soul searching and some meditating. Like I said, yoga's meditating. Praying is meditating. I don't know what your religion may be, but take it as it resonates. Praying, chanting, all those things are meditation. Even taking meditation classes, even going to the gym, just to blow off some steam. Yeah, it's meditation. Yeah. Now is not the time to make decisions. Stay silent and inactive to build your mental strength. Now is not the time to make decisions. Stay silent and inactive to build your mental strength. Clear your mind of clutter. Clear your mind of clutter to replenish strength. Spend time connecting with your higher self. Yeah, take time apart from others after painful losses to reassess your priorities. Heavy Hermit card energy. Yeah, isolation. So that you can do some soul searching and meditating. Yeah. Alright, let's go on and get into the middle here. My phone done cut off in the middle of this. I've been talking for a minute, but let's go on and get into this. So now you got the Seven of Cups in reverse. The Seven of Cups speaks a lot about having so many options. Look at all the options on the card. But you got to be careful. Like I said, you got to be careful what you get yourself into. Look, some of those got snakes. Some of those cups have snakes in them. Demons and devils. Some of them have gold. Curses. Yeah, baby. This is tricky. And you got the Seven of Cups in reverse. So the Seven of Cups speaks a lot about reality, clarity, sobriety. Like I said, with that Devil card, I feel like a lot of you are going through recovery. And now you got the Seven of Cups in reverse saying, hey, there's sobriety here. I feel like some of y'all could be getting clean from drugs, from alcohol, from sexual addictions, food addictions, you know. Um, yeah. But then it speaks about poor choices, lack of choice, um, lack of spiritual growth, feeling trapped. We got this again. Feeling trapped, avoiding issues, needing a reality check, missing opportunities, focusing on the superficial and materialistic. And then you got the star card right here. Thank God the star card is here. Because the star card speaks a lot about having hope and having faith. Yeah, because in the middle, I just feel like everything's going crazy. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Yeah. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. So with the star card here, it's time to have a little hope. You know, even though there's fucked up shit going on around us, we gotta keep hope alive. We gotta have some faith, even if it's as tiny as a mustard seed. Have some faith. You got renewal here. You got nourishment here. You gotta nourish yourself. Strip yourself of limiting beliefs that hold you back. Realize who you are. No matter what life throws at you, you are always connected to the divine, blessed by the universe, peaceful and loving. Peaceful and loving life. Out with the old, in with the new. Keep your heart open. It also speaks about giving back. You know, like I said earlier, you know, drugs are a problem. Homelessness is a problem. If you can give back, give back. I know sometimes my son, he has sneakers in there he doesn't wear anymore. We take him down to the mission. Yeah. Clothes, we take them down to the mission. Just give things away when you see that there's a need with your people. Yeah. Help when you can. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like overall, collective, we're just overwhelmed. We're overwhelmed. We have so many choices, so many options. But we have to get into alignment with our personal values. We have to get into alignment with our personal values. It says facing several choices. Rely on your inner wisdom. Rely on your inner wisdom. Follow your intuition. We started out with the moon card. Yeah. Follow your intuition. Rely on your wisdom instead of what appeals to others. It speaks of being at risk of losing focus if you choose pipe dreams. Choosing pipe dreams, unattainable dreams. You want to make sure that your goals and your dreams are reachable. What is important to you? Make your pick and move forward with it. Look for the silver lining. Baby, we all looking for that silver lining. We all looking for that silver lining, but we got to have hope. We got to have faith, and we got to have patience too. You know, with ourselves, you know, while we're figuring out who we are, what we want to be, and what we want to do. Yes, most definitely. And then what else we got? We got the Three of Wands in reverse. Not moving on, not going your separate way. Yeah. The Three of Wands speaks about being stuck. Yeah. Being stuck, not going your separate ways. Yeah. Let's go deeper. Yeah, so we got holding on to the past here. Holding on to the past. Haunted by the past, lack of planning, low confidence, self-doubt, unhappy choices. Once again, unhappy choices. poor choices, restriction, no freedom, not being able to grow, not expanding. Yeah, but then you got the star card here again. Like I said, it's time. It's time to spread your wings. It's time to have some hope. It's time to have some faith. It's time to spread your wings. Spread my wings, fly away to a place that I long for, and my heart will be the pathway, searching for love that's evermore. Gotta follow your heart. Troop said, and my heart will be the pathway. Follow your heart. You sitting here confused, not knowing what to do, stuck, not going in the direction you need to be going in. Baby, all you gotta do is follow your heart. Ain't nothing confusing about it. Listen to your heart. Have some hope. Yeah. And follow your path. Follow your direction. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna end it over here. Because we got the Hierophant out here, baby. Ooh, this is someone of the cloth. The Hierophant. It's someone of the cloth, a priest, a pastor. It could be a life coach. It could be a therapist. But it's a teacher. It's a counselor. And look at the two people at the bottom. They are paying attention, baby. They are listening, learning. So I feel like collective, we're learning. We're paying attention and we're learning. We should be paying attention and we should be learning. Yeah. So yeah, the Hierophant speaks a lot about spiritual wisdom, religious beliefs, tradition, marriage. Like I said, it's a pope, it's a teacher, a pastor. But it's about sharing wisdom. Share your wisdom with others. Mentorship. We're all learning from one another and teaching one another by how we live, by how we act, by what we go through. You know, people always say, "Oh, I'm not telling my business. I'm not sharing my business." You never know. You never know who you might be helping. For real. You never know who you might be helping. Never be afraid to share your story. Because you never know who you might be helping. I think that's going to be my caption. Share your story. You never know who you're helping. Because like I said, we're all in a mentorship. We're all in a mentorship here. We're all learning from one another and teaching one another what to do and what not to do. Whether it's good or bad, okay? Yeah. But never be ashamed to share your story. No matter how good or bad you may think it is, you could help somebody. You could save somebody. Yeah. But yeah, it says share your wisdom. Work with a teacher or mentor to teach about spiritual values. So I always get into this conversation about, you know, not everybody has the same beliefs, you know, and that doesn't make them wrong or you right or you wrong and them right, you know, for what they believe in. You know, everybody's going to believe what they want to believe, and everybody has their own opinion. And, you know, we have to respect that. You know, we can't make people believe what we believe and do what we do. Yeah. I mean, you could definitely, you know, speak on it, but it's up to the other person, you know, what type of decision they want to make. Yeah, but I always, you know, you got to let people believe what they want to believe because everybody has their own opinion about things. And, you know, it's just about not forcing your beliefs on others, you know. Like I said, you can most definitely talk about your beliefs and share your opinions, but ultimately, people are going to do what they want to do. Yeah. It also speaks about authority, studying. Like I said, I feel like some of you could be studying, learning, going back to school, Stick to what you know. I also get like quotes. I get quotes. I always say, personally, I believe religion is a quote. Something that wants you to believe a certain thing, live a certain way, be a certain way. Yeah, to me, that is a quote. Religion is a quote. When we're joining these sororities and these fraternities, yeah, that's a cult to me. They want you to be a certain way and live a certain way. So you got, like, again, you got to be careful about what you're getting yourself into. Make sure that what you're believing is what you want to believe. Make sure that how you're living is how you want to live. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting like people being forced into like situations and that they really don't want to be in, because now here we are with the Chariot, not moving forward. Yeah, having no strength, having no willpower, feeling unsuccessful, or maybe joining a religion or a sorority or a fraternity will give you that strength, will give you that willpower, to succeed and be victorious. So take it as it resonates. But right here with the Chariot in reverse, you feel like you have no strength, you have no control, you have no willpower. Yeah. Being passive, just thinking it's going to happen for you. No, baby, you got to do the work. You got to do the work. And I feel like backing up with the Chariot in reverse, backing up this Hierophant, you have to work with somebody. Yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm just getting mentorship with this whole section. Mentorship, learning from one another and teaching one another, working with others, that can give us strength, that could give us willpower to succeed. Yeah. You want to be asserting yourself. You want to be courageous. You want to have confidence. You want to be bold. You want to express your desires. I mean, you don't want to be, you just don't want to be sitting there passively thinking that everything that you want is just going to fall into your lap, because that's just not how life works. Yeah, and then look, we got the Six of Cups here. I don't know, I feel like somebody's in La La Land. I had this teacher, my first grade teacher, I think her name was Miss Wallace. She always used to say, wake up and smell the coffee. You're in La La Land. Wake up and smell. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. I feel like you're just reminiscing, looking at pictures. I don't know why I'm getting Mary J. Blige. I'm missing you like crazy. Body and soul is aching. I'm out of control, missing you so. Somebody is really missing somebody. Yeah. Looking at pictures. I don't know, I feel like something could have happened here that has you like in a mourning. I feel like mourning. I'm hearing mourning. Somebody's in mourning. Somebody's definitely in mourning, not moving on. Feeling low. This could be a separation. This could be a breakup. This could be someone that has departed this life. Yeah. Where you're just missing them, looking at pictures, and with the Hierophant out here, I'm gonna say you definitely have to work with someone, talk to someone, to get you out of this stuck phase where you're not moving forward. With the Six of Cups, I always talk about visiting back home. Maybe taking a visit back home will get you back into your spirit. I also get spinning the block with the Six of Cups. So with spinning the block, people coming back into your life. I'm not a fan of spinning the block, but sometimes it works out for people. Running into an ex, running into an old friend, and thinking maybe it'll work out this time, but Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Some people are. What else we got with this before I get up out of here? Let's see. Ooh, we got the Ace of Cups. Yeah, I feel like somebody's spinning the block. And maybe it's the second time around. Second time around. It's much better because look, you got the Ace of Cups here backing up the Six of Cups. Yeah, the love bug is coming in. The love bug is coming in, baby. This is new love. This is pregnancy. This is heavy pregnancy. Heavy pregnancy. The love bug coming in. New connections, new goals, new dreams. Ooh, I love to end it this way, baby. Yes. New goals, new dreams, new love, new connections. Yeah. And be careful with that pregnancy, because we talked about that in the beginning. All right, let's do some oracles. Gratitude, being thankful. Receiving blessings, thanks, and giving. Baby, show gratitude. Be thankful to receive. Be thankful to be able to give. Yeah. It's a give and take with receiving and giving. Yeah. That's how your blessings flow in. You got to be thankful. Yeah. Then we got uncover, dowsing, pendulum, answers, integrity, wanting the truth. Wanting the truth. So with dowsing, it's like putting out fires. It's like a fire truck coming and then putting out a fire. Yeah. It's time to put the fires out in our lives. Stop going back and forth with ourselves. Yeah. And start putting out the fires. Start looking for those answers. Start getting those answers. Be honest with yourself. Integrity. Yeah. And lastly, we got threshold, perception, surrender, dissolve, and illusion. With threshold, I always get marriage. I have marriage over here. Yeah, threshold, perception, surrender, dissolve, illusion. It's time to surrender to our old perceptions, illusions. Yeah, it's time to dissolve. It's time to dissolve that shit. Surrender and let it dissolve. Yeah. It's time for a new way of life. Yeah. It's definitely time for a new way of life, I'm thinking about The Corner, this series that was out back in the day, it was about, drug addicts, and how they were gonna get their next hit. Yeah, it's time for a new way of life. Nobody wants to live like that. Like Billie Holiday, she was tired of being a sex worker. She was tired of turning those tricks. She went on over there to that jazz club and started her singing career, even though, she had some issues, with drugs and things like that. But it's time for a new way of life. Yeah, it's time for a new way of living. All right, collective, I'm going to leave it there. I done talked a long time, baby. But, that's what it is when spirit starts talking. All right, collective, have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you next time. Leo, I'm going to try to get back in and do one more reading with y'all before the season is over. My birthday is this week, so I'm probably going to do a little personal reading for myself too, just to see what this new trip around the sun is going to be like. All right, y'all. I love y'all, collective, all right? And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.